Hey guys, in this month's top 5, don't judge a book by its cover. Okay, so we've all done it. Let's just admit it. There's no shame. At one point in your life, or maybe all the time, really, let's be honest, if you're a book lover, you probably do it all the time. You've probably come across a book and you think to yourself, oh my god, that's a beautiful cover. You instantly buy it, and then later when you get around to reading it, you're disappointed because guess what? The book sucks. So that's what this month's top 5 is. Don't judge a book by its cover. Essentially meaning books that are pretty on the outside but ugly in the inside. So I have chosen 5 books that I have read that have gorgeous, beautiful covers, but once I read the book, it was bad. So these are 5 books personally to me that I find beautiful. They might not be beautiful to some people, but I find the covers beautiful, and I guess I'll explain as I go. At number 5, The Tutor by Andrea Chapin. Look at this cover, you guys. This is a beautiful cover to me. A woman in Elizabethan garb, and it just sets up exactly what this book is. It lets you know immediately that this is a historical fiction book taking place in the Elizabethan era. And yeah, kind of the hint also that maybe there's a bit of a romance in the book as well. So yeah, this is to me a very beautiful cover, and it's about this woman, and it's during the Elizabethan era when, you know, there's the whole crisis between the Catholics and the Protestants, and Elizabeth, you know, all of the turmoil there. And the main woman in this story, just in the middle of this crisis, she happens to run into William Shakespeare, and she becomes the muse of William Shakespeare. So yeah, you guys, the premise of this book, I loved the premise, and I also loved the cover, but oh my god, this book sucked. It wasn't like god awful, but I think this is a debut book by this author, and I think there's definitely some promise there, but I think this author made a lot of debut novel mistakes, if that makes sense. And yeah, a lot of this book was just really boring and kind of pointless, and I wish it had had a better focus. And honestly, I didn't even see the point of William Shakespeare in this book. Because I went into this book expecting like Shakespeare in Love. I love that movie, and this book was not Shakespeare in Love. At number 4, Death Comes to Pemberley by P.D. James, and this is a sequel of sorts to Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice, and this follows a murder mystery that ensues near Pemberley, where Elizabeth and Mr. Darcy live, and this brings in Lydia and her husband Wickham, and Wickham is kind of blamed for this murder. So that's the question throughout this novel. Is Wickham guilty or is he innocent? So yeah, as you guys can see, this is a gorgeous cover. I love the writing design and the feel of it. There's a texture to the writing. And also, I just love the image of the carriage, and you can tell that the carriage is moving along quickly, and that's a big plot point in the story, with a speeding carriage trying to make its way to Pemberley. So yeah, this cover really, I think, expresses the mood and feel of the book in some sort of way. But anyway, I picked up this book after viewing the fantastic miniseries starring Matthew Rhys and Anna Maxwell Martin and Matthew Good and Jenna Coleman. It was a freaking amazing miniseries, you guys. I loved it. So I picked up this book thinking this book would be like the miniseries. Plus, I had always wanted to read this book anyway before viewing the miniseries because the cover really attracted me, and just the premise, you know, it's a sequel to Pride and Prejudice. So yeah, a lot of different factors really made me want to read this book. And oh my god, this is really dry and dull. And you know, a murder mystery should not ever feel dry or dull. And this is one of those instances where the miniseries is way better than the book, in my honest opinion. At number 3, I have The Tsarina's Daughter by Carolee Erickson, and this is a historical fiction book taking place in, I believe, somewhere around the time of 1917, 1918, and it's about the Romanovs and their death that happens, their extreme murder, and this book is told from the point of view of one of the Grand Duchesses of Tsar Nicholas II, Tatiana Romanov. So yeah, when I first picked up this book, I immediately knew what it was before I even read the synopsis, because I immediately recognized the picture here, that being of Tatiana Romanov. And I personally find this a beautiful cover. Just really says it all about what you're getting going into this book. But once again, you know, I was sitting there talking about Death Comes to Pemberley being dry and dull, and this book was really dry and dull as well, and I honestly can't even remember what happens in this book. I just remember finishing this book and thinking to myself, oh my god, that was boring. It was just the most unexciting thing I'd ever read. And I have a problem with Carolee Erickson anyway, because I've picked up a couple of her books in the past, and I think her writing is just not for me. It's like her books all have beautiful covers, but I just don't like her writing style, to be quite honest. At number 2, I have Once Upon a Time, Reawakened by Odette Bean. And I guess I picked this book mostly for shallow reasons, because I'm a huge fan of the TV show Once Upon a Time and its take on the Disney fairy tales and the classics and whatnot. And yeah, I picked this up. I thought it was a beautiful image of Snow White and Emma Swan. And oh boy, you guys, this was bad. So yeah, if you've not picked up this Once Upon a Time media tie-in book, it's basically all of season 1 in a novel format. But you know, the problem with this book, it's mostly just focused on the point of view of Emma and Mary Margaret. So you're kind of lacking the points of view of characters like Rumpelstiltskin and the Evil Queen. So you're missing out on a lot in this book. And yeah, it's like this book should have been like 1,000 pages if it wanted to try and put the whole of season 1 in here. And yeah, they squeeze season 1, all of season 1, you guys, they squeeze it all into just a little over 300 pages. And it's kind of poorly constructed, very poorly constructed. And yeah, I just think a lot of the characters don't come across the way they do on the show and stuff. So yeah, I only picked this up because I saw this beautiful cover of a show that I love, and I was like, I must have this, and then I was disappointed. And at number 1, I have Angelopolis by Danielle Trussoni. And you guys, I'm not gonna lie, I don't even know what the hell this book is about. Something about angels. It has another book, because this is actually book 2 in the series, so I had to go out and buy book 1. I read that, then I read this, and this is just a god-awful series. Oh my god, it's something to do about angels. It's really difficult to explain, but ooh, you guys, look at this beautiful cover. Jesus, it's so shiny. It's a Fabergé egg. And that's it. I don't even have anything else to say. Just let y'all look at the beautiful cover. And this was definitely a case of me seeing this cover thinking, oh my god, that is absolutely gorgeous, I must buy it. And at least I got it for 50% off. I think I went to Barnes & Noble one day and they were just having one of those 50% off days on books, and so at least I didn't waste a ton of money on this. And it's like, I wanna sell this book at my local used bookstore, but at the same time, it's like I want to keep it because it's so pretty. It's kind of tearing me apart. But it's like, why keep a book if you don't like it and you're not going to read it again, you know? Okay, you guys, so that's it for this month's top 5. In the comments below, feel free to share with me books that you thought were beautiful, but then you read them and you were disappointed because it sucked. Just to put it gently, I suppose. So that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you like this video, you may like these other videos. Bye, guys.